What is up, guys? Welcome back. It has been a hot minute. Hope you guys are doing well. Looking at the SSG, which, as many of you guys know, has been drawing quite a bit of criticism. And I watched a few reviews and decided I'd take the plunge on it anyway, for a couple of reasons, which I'll get into in a minute. But I actually like it. I think that a lot of the initial impressions, at least in my estimation, were probably kind of an overreaction. I don't have any performance issues that people talked about, and the plane on the outside, as you can see, looks pretty good. Obviously needs a few more liveries. The windows are cut on the bottom. There's no interior model. The top floor, top deck is modeled interior-wise. And there's a lot of functionality. There's a lot of system depth, surprisingly. The cockpit looks bad. It looks like X-Plane 10. And if you look down here on the pedestal, if you had light here, you could see like smudges and fingerprints on this FMC. There's a lot of texturing down here that's just missing on the rest of the cockpit. The rest of it is just kind of a flat color. But that said, other than that, everything else seems to work, and I'm kind of surprised at how much is actually here. The FMC is a little finicky, and I'm not a huge fan of the payload screen, which obviously you'll see when we try to do this flight. I'm just going to do a short flight. We're in Las Vegas right now, and we're going to fly to San Francisco, which is kind of ridiculous for a 747-8 intercontinental, but I'm not flying halfway across the world. We'll wait for this cargo, the cargo variant to come out, which is supposed to be a free upgrade as well. There's also some other issues as well too. So right now you can hear the GPUs connected. So we'll go up here and we'll get the battery power connected. One thing that I do not like, all the switches pretty much, for the most part, are in the opposition. The EEC controls are on. They're on normal. Your bus ties are on auto. All of these are already on. I can switch these to auto. Hydraulic pumps, that's pretty much it. And the fuel switches are off, but everything else, even the window heat, why is that on? I don't know. And your lights obviously are off. Everything else is already in the position that it needs to be for startup, including like the bleeds are on, the packs are already on, trim air, all that kind of stuff. So we'll get the nav lights on, and we don't need logos because it's super bright. And we've got an IRS alignment process now. We've got an FMC position in it. We are in Las Vegas, Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra. Reference airport, and I'll copy that into the scratch pad. There we go, and that's aligning down there. But looking down here at the MFDs, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about system steps. So all this stuff is modeled. Right now we're on the stats page, which is where you see your hydraulic temperature, pressure, and your EGT and N1, N2 for the APU. We've got the electrical page. All of this works. So we're going to go ahead up top. You'll see. We'll get the external power is on. A little warning. And then back down here, you can see now we've got electrical power coming through. It's on the bus. And you can see it's coming from the external power 1. And the same thing, when you get the APU on, you can see that's where the power is coming from, which is pretty cool. Dismiss this. Do a recall here. Get rid of the ICAS stuff. What else we got? Fuel, all that works, obviously. ECS, flight controls, hydraulic, doors, gear, and your regular info page. Info maybe does not work. Does not. Also have a checklist that works, although we're not going to use that today because you know how I am with checklists in flight simulators. Nav doesn't work. Nav and info don't work. Stat page obviously is where we want it now because we're going to start the APU in a little bit. So I'm a big fan of all this kind of stuff. So far impressions are if they could tighten up the cockpit textures, work on the FMC a little bit, and I don't know, maybe think of a different implementation for the payload, which you'll see right here. The ground service will go ahead and open the front entry door, which is where the little walkway is connected, and we'll go to payload. Actually, let's do this. Let's get our ATIS first and figure out what departing runway is. Las Vegas McCarran International. ATIS 127.65. No ATIS? How about, let's try this. 132.4, okay. And that doesn't work either. I'll just do it ourselves. Las Vegas winds 090 at 3 knots. So we are going to take off. Oh, the long one. What's the long one? Runway 8 left. And San Francisco, I'm assuming we're going to get 28 right, because that's pretty much always. Let's see, 050 at 3 knots. That's negligible, so we'll plan on, again, 28 right there. And clearance delivery, 118.0. Ground, 121.9er. The radios are not working or what? Aiden, actually, the engine sounds are really good. I really like them. I mean, for I don't think there's no Doppler sound or anything like that. But to me, in the cockpit, it sounds really good, and the static external sounds are really good as well, which we'll see in a second. I'll try to get out of here as fast as I can. This isn't a long flight, so it's not going to take long. But I'm kind of dumb, so it requires us to do a little bit of math here. Go back to options, make sure we're on pounds.
201, West City,
let's
clear to
see.
Kona via the Georgia 5 departure, runway 26 left. Flight plan route, departure frequency is 132.3, squawk code 2607.
2607, thanks. Switch you over to ground. And what was tower 12, no, Tennyson. Las Vegas tower 119.9er.
Blue 88, counting paper, 12207.
12207, Blue 88.
There we go. Alright, zero fuel weight. This is where the math comes in. I don't like this system. I wish you could just type stuff in. You kind of have to do this.
Number 5542 ground, Delta, Echo, hold short of Romeo.
Little guesstimation.
Delta,
So we need
Echo,
581,790 pounds.
Canada 430, monitor is R1187, please.
EQ Center, Canada 430.
Canada 876, monitor is R1187.
Monitor 187, Air Canada 876, good night.
Good.
There you go, 581, that's close enough. That'll do. That's loaded, and then fueling, block fuel, this is going to be practically empty. 48,800 pounds. Let's go 50.
Delta Echo short Sierra for 3539.
So, I mean, it's negligible in these tip tanks. And the aft tank's already empty. There you go, so that's payload. I wish you could just type the actual number in rather than having to click 100, 10, 20, all that kind of crap, but it's not too bad. I can deal with that. What was that warning for? Door entry, fuel over. Oh, yes. Let's get these on. And our flight plan. Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra 2. Kilo Sierra Foxtrot Oscar.
Folks.
Do we have any waypoints? Let's see.
Alpha.
Tango, cross runway 33 right, hold short echo.
Alpha Tango, cross 33 right.
Basically one. I think it's a transition for the star too. So let's just put that in. Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, Mike, Echo.
Hold short echo, Fox Yankee Golf.
And then departures and arrivals. KLAS, Las Vegas. We're taking 09. Right, 08 left. Big boy. The Shade 1. And a transition is, do we have a transition? Keno.
Affirmative on course 35
Arrivals, ILS, 28 right. Via the Diamond 5. Roosme transition, and let's see what transition, do we want to transition for the ILS? ILS 28 right. Coming from the southeast, so I'm going to do Archie. Can we do Archie? Yes, we can. Activate, execute.
1799, ground taxi Delta Alpha Alpha Lima, cross runway 33 right.
Delta Alpha Alpha Lima, cross 33 right, rear 1799.
So this is what I was talking about finicky. That didn't show up, so I think we would execute each of these. 08 left, Shade 1, SID with a Keno transition, execute, route, departures, arrivals, ILS 28 right, via Diamond 5, Roosme transition, and RG transition for the ILS, execute, route, legs. Alright, now we got it. Yes, 2.4 nautical miles, and also we can't step through the flight plan until the IRS is aligned, which I've got on the the realistic settings. I think 480 seconds, however many minutes that is. I'm not going to do the math on that. So while we're waiting to do that, we can do our init ref. Zero fuel weight goes automatically. Reserves. We have 19. Flight level 380.
Concord 3539, Embraer waits, contact ground 12165.
Cost index 61, not too shabby. The cruise CG is going to be on another page for some reason. I'm not even sure why that's there. You can't click on next to or anything. So go thrust limit. We'll do flex 40, assume temperature 40, derate the takeoff there, regular climb, takeoff, flaps 10. And you get your VREF. Now the trim's on this page. You see the trim is on the MFD down here displayed, so I can go ahead and set that for stabilizer trim is 7 for takeoff. V1, the rotate, and V2 is 162, which I'll go ahead and put in the MCP. 8 minutes. He figured it out. I wasn't going to do the math. And departure heading is runway 08 left.
1799, contact zip and
It's a mystery. 078 degrees. While we're waiting for the IRS to line, I'll show you the outside again. I don't know if you just got here. I'm going to walk through all the MFD pages. Pretty much all of them are actually modeled in work, which is cool. I like that. 38,000. It looks good. It looks really good. Landing gear, really well modeled. The engines look pretty awesome. There's wing flex. It's not dramatic, which is probably good, but some of the texturing is a little bland, like on the flaps and stuff like that. But from that distance, it still looks pretty good. Good PBR stuff. You can see the little tail camera. I talk to myself. I would be doing this anyway, even if I wasn't on stream. Today, I did my long cross-country flight, and I was literally talking to myself. Also, as big as this plane is, this is about as close that we can get to this info panel. No big deal. Is that touching the... Oh, no, we got a few inches down there. No idea how many minutes we got left here.
Super 9 Lima Heavy, ground taxi Delta, Echo, hold short Sierra.
Delta, Echo, hold short Sierra.
These are independent now too, which as I understand wasn't in V1. And everything pretty much works. I flew, I think it was about 180 nautical miles. I went from here to Athens, and then Athens to Clemson, and then back to here. So it was like 35 nautical miles, 60 nautical miles, and then 80 something. They do them in the cockpit is shit awful though. The rest of the plane looks really good. And we'll check out the cabin back here as well. That's modeled. Downstairs, not modeled. Looks fine. Actually better than some of the Flight Factor planes. Maybe I should put that to fast align.
Ground Rouge 1537, we're on Delta 4.
1537, ground taxi Delta, cross from 33 right, Alpha, Tango.
Delta cross 33 right, Alpha short of Tango, Rouge 1537.
There you go, 60 seconds. Speed it up, buddy. Did I do the initialization right? I guess while we're waiting for this, I can go ahead and start the APU, because everything else is pretty much ready to go. Fuel pumps are all on. Click that over to start. Check down here. She's alive.
Canada 429.
There we go. EGT, N1, N2, and 1 corner. You're good. Get that on the bus.
Okay, Delta, Alpha.
And we'll switch it over to the electrical page again.
33 right for Canada 429, and we're.
And you can see now we got APU1 and APU2 connected to the bus. Again, all these MFD pages do actually work now.
Round to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
What is up with the IRS? Why is this not aligning?
Rouge 1537, have a good night.
Bitch, align.
Roger, Canada 721. We're off on Delta 4, number 163.
Air Canada 721, ground taxi Delta, cross from 33 right, Alpha, hold short Tango.
Delta cross 33 right, Alpha short Tango, Air Canada 721.
Good day, just 79 noise. 7979, ground, hello, behind the second Airbus, taxi Delta, cross from 33 right, Alpha, hold short Alpha, Kilo.
And the second Airbus, Delta, cross 32 right, Alpha, hold short Alpha, Kilo, just 7979.
Push 597, get Charlie 2.
Push 597, ground taxi echo, hold short Sierra.
Push right Sierra, 597.
I don't know what's going on here. Let me try it. I've just initialized the whole thing. I'll try it again. I've done 3 flights now, and this is the first time that this has been an issue. Our position: Las Vegas, Kilo Alpha Sierra, Kilo Lima Alpha Sierra.
Air Canada 429, taxi Alpha Lima, contact Apron 12207.
Okay, Alpha Lima, Apron 12207, Air Canada 429.
Joint left, shade 1, Keno transition.
Air Canada 721, taxi Alpha Lima, contact Apron 12207.
Alpha Lima,
Approaches
2207,
arrivals.
Air Canada 429.
ILS 28 right, Archie transition, Diamond 5, Roost me, execute.
1215 on Charlie 2 for gate 17.
Push 1215, ground gates unavailable, taxi echo, hold short Sierra.
Echo short Sierra, left 1215.
Alright, the flight plan is in there. Now maybe the IRS align. Oh, you know what would help? I'm a fucking idiot. Can I just start over? Jesus Christ.
China 7979, taxi Alpha Kilo, contact Apron when you get there, 12227.
Alpha Q and Apron 12227, just 7979 to beginning.
That, boys and girls, is how you're not supposed to do it.
1215, connect. American 2804, clearing at Takeoff.
American 2804, ground taxi. Echo, hold short Sierra.
Delta Echo, hold short Sierra, American 2804.
Russia 2644, ground runway 24 right, information Whiskey altimeter 3020, taxi Bravo Charlie.
Bravo Charlie 24 right, way 5644.
There we go, finally.
Russia 2644, ground runway 24 right, information Whiskey altimeter 3020,
No discontinuities.
Bravo Charlie.
Bravo Charlie 24 right, way 5644.
Should be pretty easy. Weather radar and terrain work as well. Wait a second before we fire those up. Leave that there. Get you on 80.
2101, sir, Encore 3404, follow that RJ to 12 o'clock Alpha Hotel, the altimeter is 3019.
Follow the RJ Alpha Hotel, Encore
And we'll get the lower beacon on. Get ready to call our pushback here. Double check the APU is on, and we are on the bus. GPU is disconnected. Close the doors.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Once they're on core 3404, follow that RJ to 12 o'clock Alpha Hotel, the altimeter is 301 knots.
Follow the RJ Alpha Hotel on core 3404.
Yeah, the outside looks really good. And again, like when we get into some light, if you can see the shadow, there's dust and you can see fingerprint smudges and stuff down here on this FMC. There's actual texturing down here that looks good, and it's just for whatever reason it's not anywhere else in the
all
cockpit.
doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
I mean, the rest of the cockpit is just, it looks like just a flat, plain texture on the 3D model. I don't know why they thought that was okay, but if they fix that, I mean, obviously it would take that a long way to making it a better, I think, more positively appreciated like thing in the community. I think it's on the stats page. I'll go engines because we're about to start this guy up.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
There you go, buddy.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
2, start the engines. Gonna pack 2 and 3 off. We can leave the first one on. Leave the engine bleeds on. And we'll just go engine 3 and 4. We'll start at the same time. Aim for about 20% N2. Engine 4, engine 3. There you go, 3 and 4 running.
It's Romeo, cross 33 right.
Just verify that, yes, and the starter switches should have reset. So we'll go engine 1 and 2.
Right, hold short sub on core 3519.
And there's 20%. 20%. Engines 1 and 2 running. Double check all of our engine gen is on, and they're on the bus as well. Our electric page real quick. Turn the APU buses off. Turn the APU off.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
There you go.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Right, Jordan 7361, the wheel sometimes going to work out fine. Tower's 18.7 now. 18.7? That's the one.
When packs 2 and 3 can come back on. APU bleed can come off. The isolation valve's on. Auto. Window heat.
TOW is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
Thank you, buddy. Flight controls checked. RTO, we're doing flaps 10. Then back on the engines page. And arm the speed brake.
Westjet 1203, you can keep it going. Romeo into the ramp, 122227. Romeo into the ramp, over 2227, Westjet
There you go,
1203.
10. Selected and indicated. Taxi light on. And we'll see if we get a takeoff config warning.
DC 4199 to Delta Romeo, call the ramp 2207. 2207.
We did. I forgot to think. I think I forgot to put that in the initialization page. 1 minute. What are you drinking around for? Hello?
Encore 3404, ground, turn left, Charlie.
Left turn on to Charlie, Encore 3404.
This probably would have helped. Man, I have just screwed up every bit of this, haven't I? 380. Thrust limit, we did flex 40. Better late than never. D-rated takeoff. Regular climb. Flaps 10. CG is already set, or the takeoff trim is set, and 1, 2, 3, V2, 162 is in the MCP. That should be good. I am so fired, man. Let's see if LNAV and VNAV light up. They do, the flight directors are on, that's a good thing. Now let's try it. Takeoff config. Oh, we're good.
Air Canada 691, give way to Encore Q400.
Lufthansa. What is Lufthansa doing flying a 747 8i from Las Vegas to San Francisco? They're fired.
Encore 3519, keep it going, Romeo on the Alpha Tank.
It does, man. Like I said, if they cleaned up the cockpit textures, if they could replicate whatever. Oh, check down here now. So look, you can see like fingerprint smudging on this stuff. Like if they could texture the whole cockpit the way that they've textured just the pedestal, I mean, make it look incredible. Like I said, there's a lot of good system depth. Go ahead and turn on the terrain and weather radar over here. Get airports. And I like the sound too. Like once I said takeoff power, it is fairly impressive.
Ground, good morning. Turn 1804 Heavy with you, short of Delta Tango.
1804, ground 24 right, altimeter 3019, it is Victor, turn left Charlie.
Oh, Delta Tango and Charlie for Rouge 1804.
The VNAV after takeoff seems to be a little bit aggressive, but if you're hand flying it doesn't really matter. I would just wait until you're probably at like 1,000 or 1,500 to put autopilot on. Still further, welcome and thank you. We're coming up on the end of a runway here, aren't we? Oh, boys. Another thing that I've noticed, and I think it might have just been because I'm doing these short hauls with hardly any fuel at all, is that with the auto brakes, even on as low the setting as 2, it kind of screeches to a halt. And I'm guessing it's just probably because I don't have a lot of payload. I know the maximum takeoff weight is close to 1,000,000 pounds, and we're running at like 500,000. So I'm not sure if that's realistic or not. Yeah, buddy. We made it. Ortho really did a number on this airport.
Ground, good morning. Here in Canada 105 Heavy, short of Kilo Information Vector.
Air Canada 105 Heavy, hello, continue Alpha Hotel.
Alpha and Hotel, Air Canada 105.
It is crazy sitting up, what, almost 5 stories over the surface, though. Park and brake is set. Let's go, lights. Well, you want to turn on? There you go. Camera.
Ground, good morning. Here in Canada 105 Heavy,
And action. We got RTO. Auto brakes are set, RTO. Flaps are set and indicated on 10 degrees. Stabilizer trim is set. Speed brakes are armed. Yeah. Las Vegas, it's totally normal, right? As long as you're not landing from that direction.
Ground, Sunwing 67 approaching Alpha Lima.
Let's go tower.
Runway 24 right.
And departure. Las Vegas departure 133.9 or 50. Don't look that way. We're gonna look out here. We're taking off this way anyway.
Lufthansa 495, line up and wait
Ooh,
for
Lufthansa 495. I'm gonna line up and just take off.
Wait, runway 24 right. Lufthansa 495, wind 330, 16 knots, clear takeoff, runway 24 right.
Ooh, clear for takeoff.
First clear takeoff, runway 24 right.
Close. 28 left. Alright, here you go. N1, 40%. Stabilized, arm the auto throttles, accept takeoff power. Listen to that. Positive rate. Fuel tanks, I got one that's empty. I'll turn them off in a second. So watch the LNAV profile, it obviously, or the VNAV profile, it just went down to 10 degrees. I'm not sure if that's realistic or not, because we were barely 1,000 feet above the ground.
Lufthansa 495, contact departure 128.8, good day.
Now it's like back level.
128, good day.
Just we'll follow it, see what it does.
Flash at 12 tower, line up more runway 2 frame.
24 right, 1 12.
Seems aggressive. There we go, flaps up. Disarm our speed brakes. And I'll go ahead and turn on the autopilot. Enjoy the views.
Encore 3535, just coming up here.
Encore 3535, Jeff.
You see the Doppler sound is not great, or really present at all.
Transat 470, contact ground 120.
2009 Air Transat 470.
American 2852 tower, dash 8 mile final, 320, 15 goes 20, close 100. Canada 239, contact
Throw strobes.
34-3 or Canada.
And both beacons. Where are the... I have no idea where the seatbelt things are. I don't even think that's on the overhead anywhere. Oh, there we go.
Air Canada 239, contact center 134-3. 34-3 Air Canada.
Departure, good day, not to Jumbo 4050. 4,000.
Jumbo 4050, departure, good day, identified.
transition altitude to 992.
Encore 3251 of
Let's switch that now.
direct and climb 16000. Direct to Ensign and now continue the climb 16000 for Encore 3251. Departure hello, Encore 32. Canada 431, contact center now, 12877. Killing.
2877 or Canada 431.
Yeah, Los Angeles Center. Today I was transitioning over this airport and I given like traffic calls. Like I was at a high enough altitude that it wasn't a factor anyway. And I was like leaving the west side of it, about to depart the area. I was like, you know, November 7470 Romeo, transitioning to the east, last call, see ya! And someone actually responded with a see ya. Felt pretty good.
300 King A 300 Western Jericho.
Jericho Whiskey, go ahead.
Following ground in Philadelphia.
Jericho Whiskey,
Let's see, legs. We'll get this one on our approach. If I can remember to put in our VREF speed when we get there. Right now it's going to be flaps 30 at 150 knots, which is crazy. 150 knots over the numbers. Because it makes sense. 850,000 pounds.
Zero 1554 Delta will close out our cancel our IFR and proceed visual.
But not Turbo 1552?
Yeah, sorry, 1552.
Turbo 1552 is checking canceling IFR. I will cancel and close the plate plan, and you're good on the beat. So good day.
Good en route and stop y'all on a good 1552.
Jazz 6335 now maintains over 380. 380, Jazz 6339. Jazz 6335 now maintains over 380. 380, Jazz 6339.
663 is with you now. We're 27.5 for flight level 280. We're proceeding direct to Victor Lima Victor.
Air Canada 663, planner good day, climb level 360.
Climb flight level 360. We're 663. Air Canada 663 is with you now. We're 27.5 for flight level 280. We're proceeding direct to Victor Lima Victor.
Air Canada 663, planner good day, climb level 360.
Climb flight level 360. We're 663.
Still climbing, and the ground speed is already 497 knots. That is pretty impressive. It's 4 engines to do that to you.
Just 633, contact. Just 633, contact. Center now 128.05, okay?
1805,
Just 633, contact. Center now 128.05, okay?
1805,
EVS 235, climb level 35 here.
This total trip was 401 nautical miles, so we're already going 483, probably going to be over 500 knots easily for cruise. Not going to take too long at all. Let's see. Top of descent in probably about 100 miles. About 15 minutes. Coming up on cruise. But everything else seems really smooth. Like if you're the kind of person who puts on autopilot basically as soon as you rotate and get to 1,000 feet, I think there might be some issues with VNAV being a little bit aggressive at the beginning. But if you're flying it by hand and you can kind of transition, not quite follow the flight directors, I have no problem so far. And I think as far I've done, this will be the third landing that I've done with it, and I've had no real issues. Particularly coming this direction, I think there's some altitude restrictions. We have to be above a certain altitude, and you kind of have to dive bomb. So Archie is our transition, 7,000, 6,000 above 5,000, above 4,000, and then 3,000, and that's all within about 15 miles. So we'll see what the auto throttle and stuff does, but so far I've been pleasantly surprised. I expected like a lot worse. And my attitude is kind of, I want there to be a good 747 for X-Plane. I mean, we don't have anything. There's no PMDG or anything like that, I think. If they continue to provide updates, I'm already happy with this one. I think if they can improve the plane, I would be very happy to hear that. So I feel like I'm happy to support the developers on this one. So you should be able to see top of descent here coming. This side's on 80 miles. Not quite.
Good air, carrier 875, heavy 380.
Air carrier 875, head to Thunder, good day.
Good air, carrier 875, heavy 380.
Air carrier 875, head to Thunder, good day.
Canada 829 Heavy, flight level 400.
Air carrier 829, head to Thunder, good day.
Canada 829 Heavy, flight level 400.
Air carrier 829, head to Thunder, good day.
Houston, Emirates 224, flight level 310.
Emirates 224, Center, good afternoon. If you're able, log on to CPDLC, Charlie Zulu, Quebec flight.
Charlie Zulu, Quebec, Mike, Emirates 224.
Emirates 232, radio check. Emirates 232, radio check.
Emirates 232, stand by.
Area 104, radio check.
PD 5 and 104 heavy.
Roger. Area 104, radio check.
PD 5 and 104 heavy.
Roger.
First 1903, flight level 360.
First 1903, Center, good afternoon.
First 1903, flight level 360.
First 1903, Center, good afternoon.
Delta 266, gonna go.
Delta 266, 360.
Delta 266, gonna go.
Good afternoon, this is Qatari 701 Elish, level 340 on course Yankee Bravo Charlie.
Qatari 701 Heavy, center, good day.
Good afternoon, this is Qatari 701 Elish, level 340 on course Yankee Bravo Charlie.
Qatari 701 Heavy, center, good day. Six Pop Alpha contact center now 132.52.
4262, 56 Papa, okay.
Six Pop Alpha contact center now 132.52.
4262, 56 Papa, okay.
Finally, top of descent in about 70 miles. Gotta look down here. Our transition for the ILS-2A right is Archie, so we'll be at 7,000 there. And I'm pretty sure that Dumba is the initial approach fix. Or will be our final approach fix where we can intercept the ILS at 4,000. Let's see.
Qatari 701, okay, you're not clear.
We'll go 4,000 on the MCP and let the VNAV get us down there and see if that works.
For departure arrival.
4,000.
Just from second position, Papa Quebec India, then Echo November Echo to the path to arrival Kennedy, Qatari 701 Heavy.
Qatari 701, roger.
There's not like a, let me see, VNAV. Oh, here we go. Top of descent, 66.2 nautical miles. 2228 Zulu.
Eastern 207, traffic 3 o'clock,
nav radio
North Carolina.
I don't think we need to put the ILS in there. Oh, but it's already in there. ILS, MLS 111.7. We've got 111.7 there. And the approach course is 285. So we do not need to do that. But if you had to, or if you were to switch runways or something, you guys would put that in here. Just type in the new frequency. So assuming we get 28 right, the ILS is already programmed and ready to go. Headwind kind of killed us. That is Eastern Sierra Regional.
Air Shuttle 6195 arrival, good afternoon, runway 24 right, and altimeter is 2998. Alright, 2998 and 24 right, and also we have light by IS, started at -3 degrees, flight level 190, we're still in it. Shuttle 6195, thank you, for now descend to 900,000. 900,000 for Air Shuttle 6195, thanks. Air Shuttle 6195 arrival, good afternoon, runway 24 right, and altimeter is 2998. Alright, 2998 and 24 right, and also we have light by IS, started at -3 degrees, flight level 190, we're still in it. Shuttle 6195, thank you, for now descend to 900,000. 900,000 for Air Shuttle 6195, thanks.
It's my E6B, I can give you the exact times we hit top of descent, 40 miles now. Ground speed 473, wind 333 at 32 knots.
Canada 431, contact center now, 42877. Good day.
2877, Air Canada 431.
Airport right off the nose there, what is that? Mammoth, Yosemite, Kilo, Mike Hotel. Could we land a 747 there? And while we're waiting for top of descent, let's have a look and see what the weather's doing in San Francisco.
Departure Jazz 824 is 1800 for 5,000.
Jazz 824, terminal, good day, radar down to 5,000.
Winds 050 at 3 knots. Visibility 9. A few clouds at 800. A few at 20,000. Temperature 16, 2.11. No precipitation. Altimeter 3000. We might have a few clouds. But the radio, the minimums for us are going to be 200 for 28 line right. So while we're thinking about it, we get that in there. Radio minimums 200.
Departure Jazz 824 is 1800 for 5,000.
Jazz 824, terminal, good day, radar down to 5,000, flight level 230.
230,
Total fuel 30,000 pounds left. I think we left with 50.
Left turn, bug hand course, Jazz 824.
That is Mono Lake.
Left turn, bug hand course, Jazz 824.
Let's get 8, let's get 589, climbing through 1.7 for 5,000.
Wish at 589, 7 to identify, 5216,000, leaving 3,000, turn right, proceed RA50 on course.
Yeah, up to 16,000 out of 3,000, right break, Bobsky on course for 589.
Roger.
Dash 24, contact center 1357.
357, 824.
So we got Oakland Center 125.75. And approach control for San Francisco 133.950. I was already in there. Noise.
Dash 24, contact center 1357.
357, 824.
Qatari 701.
Qatari 701, correct.
Qatari 701, change your route, sir. Let me know when you're ready.
11.1 nautical miles.
Qatari 701, correct.
Qatari 701, okay, you're now clear. Present position direct to Papa, Quebec, India.
Alright, so you can put in an initial or fixed on here. I guess that would show you, let's see, try that. Routes. Legs. Is it Archie?
To the fast to arrival Kennedy, Qatari 701 heading.
Qatari 701, roger.
You go 7,000 feet, 2250 Zulu. That is pretty cool.
Delta 266. Go ahead for Delta 266.
Yeah, Delta 266, bit of a change to your route, sir. You're now cleared present position direct to Papa, Quebec, India.
That's 2236, so about 14 minutes.
Okay, Presque Isle and then direct to Echo November Echo.
2228. Should see the magenta line. There we go. And we are descending. So there's a VNAV profile. Let's see if it tells us to give us a little bit of spoiler action here.
Hello, Qatari 763, flight level 360.
Qatari 763, have you been again?
Hello, Qatari 763, flight level 360.
Qatari 763, have you been again?
November 300 Romeo Lima 410.
November 300 Romeo Lima, can I get it?
Center, November 300 Romeo Lima 410.
November 300 Romeo Lima, can I get it? Okay, Ukraine International 231, contact center 128.05.
128.05, Ukraine, pass out 231, good day.
Okay, Ukraine International 231, contact center 128.05.
128.05, Ukraine, pass on 231, good day.
Good air, Transat 211 heavy, flight level 400.
Air Transat 211 heavy, good air. Canada 1102, wind ready, descent flight level 290.
Wind ready down to 290, Canada 1102.
Roger. Canada 1102, wind ready, descent flight level 290.
Wind ready down to 290, Canada 1102.
Roger.
Good afternoon, Air Transat 299 heavy, flight level 360.
Air Transat 299 heavy, good night.
Good afternoon, Air Transat 299 heavy, flight level 360.
Air Transat 299 heavy, good night.
Drag required, eh? I don't think so. Possibly in a second. It shows here speed should be 280. We're still on FMC speed, and the magenta little thing is on 340, so I'll leave that for now. Recall. Got another one. Fuel tank engine.
Delta 219, flight level 360.
Delta 219 heavy, gonna get a change your route, let me know when you're ready to copy. Delta 219, now clear press position, direct to Papa, Quebec, India, and then direct Echo November, Echo, balance unchanged.
Okay, press position, direct Papa, Quebec, India, and direct Echo November, Echo, Delta 219.
Delta 219, okay.
Here we go. Now we can slow down. Bring the flight detent. See those spoilers doing their thing back there. X-plane doing its thing. Contrails out of the front of the engine.
And 300 Romeo Lima.
Number 300 Romeo Lima, go ahead.
300 Romeo Lima, start your descent now, maintain level 330.
Descend now, maintain level 330, 300 Romeo Lima.
We're going to go 280 knots. 25,000.
And 300 Romeo Lima.
Number 300 Romeo Lima, go ahead.
300 Romeo Lima, start your descent now, maintain level 330.
Descend now, maintain level 330, 300 runway.
Sorry, Air Canada calling?
Yes, hi, Air Canada 835 Heavy 380.
Air Canada 835 Heavy, but good day.
See it on the MFD on the first officer side. It's more than 80 miles on the airport now. So there's the runway, and there's the hold position for missed approach. It's about 60 miles out. Let's see, Oakland Center, NorCal approach.
Center, good day, Air Canada 142, 12.5, 210, speed 280 knots or greater, Virgin reporting.
Air Canada 142, I'm a heavy, Air Canada 142, I'm at the center, good morning, climb flight level 280.
Seatbelts.
Aircraft 799, contact center 13575, getting 3575,
Wind is still the same, 0503, and altimeter's 3000. Still coming up on a transition, so we'll go ahead and put it in 3000.
Aircraft 799, contact center 13575, getting 3575. X762, speed you're expecting.
18,000 is transition, and we're speeding up here. I'm surprised there's no FMC message. Go bring that back to flight D10.
X762, speed you're expecting.
San Francisco information call. 2200 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 25. Dew point 10. Altimeter 3004. Arriving runways 28 left, 28 right.
We got 28 right.
Runways 28
and
left.
it says it was 3004.
01 right, 01 left. Advise on initial contact, you have golf.
There you go, information golf. Turn you off, thanks. See ya. And we'll switch these guys to approach. 133.95. It's tower 120.5.
Speed 160, clear 037, confirm, maintain 5,000.
We're at 12,000 and then 8,000 and half a mile. That's going to be a fun one. And then 7,000, so above 8,000. Then flight level at 7,000 feet for Archie, so we got, well, that's 8.5. 12.5 miles. 10, no weather obviously, so we can turn that off. Leave the terrain on it for a second. I'm pretty sure this is the bay here, in that foggy area.
311 or DC 250, then it's going to maintain 7,000.
250 first, then sound, send down to 7,000, jump to 311.
So we're going to get the lights on.
Or DC to 250, then it's going to maintain 7,000.
250 first, then sound, send down to 7,000, jump to 311.
Let's see, put 4,000, which is going to be Dumba, so Dumba will arm the approach just before Dumba. Should be good. Go ahead and get the slats out.
Approach on 13389,
Boys, that is neat.
Convoy 3389, convert running 9 left.
9 left.
Here's the dive bomb. This is with spoilers and slats out. We're still gaining some speed here.
Approach on 13389, off 11,300 feet in November.
Convoy 3389,
Can
convert
we
running 9
go
left.
flaps 5? What is
9
the
left.
speed there? 265. Drag required. Man, yeah. Can do 265, 265 knots for flaps 5. That'll slow us down a bit.
Contact tower 12075. 2075 on the visual.
Now the speed's coming down. The approach course is 284. Stow the speed brakes. I think we can arm those. We'll probably be okay.
Visual approach to 10 center. Contact tower 12075. 2075 on the visual 10 center. American 99 Heavy, turn left, heading 180. Turn 180.
And while we're thinking of it, let's do this. Slow it down a bit. Flaps 30. 145. Let's go 30. 145 knots. I got a VREF in there.
American 99 Heavy, turn left, heading 180.
And should be able to see the runway here. There it is. Dump is coming up, so we'll arm our approach. Localizer and glide slope are both armed on the PFD. Still on our descent profile, which is good. Speed's coming down. Once we make this turn, I'm guessing we're going to intercept the localizer and we'll go ahead and get the gear out at 10 miles.
American 99 Heavy, just going to maintain 6,000.
Expecting a weather refresh, just get a layer of clouds or fog. Alright, captured the localizer. And the glide slope, I guess, is the blue diamond. We'll go ahead and switch this to tower.
99 Heavy, maintain 200.
There's the turn to final, waiting for the glide slope to come down. Drag required.
Compass 5793, the wind is calm, turn left heading 210.
And we're on the glide slope.
Clear for takeoff.
Up turning 210, 2 for left, clear for takeoff, compass 5793.
And there's the weather refresh I was waiting for. Alright, we'll go down to minimums now.
Tower Redwood 1890, angle is base 4 left. Redwood 1890, West Tower, good morning. You're following an RJ on a 3-mile final tropical holding position, running 24 left, clear land. Clear land, 4 left, Redwood 1890.
Alright, got the approach on the PFD here. I'm actually going to turn off the terrain now. See that a little bit better.
Tower Redwood 1890, angle is base.
And a little bit under 10 miles. Oh yeah.
Compass 5793, contact departure.
And we're 10 knots over VREF. I'll leave it there for a minute. Once we break out down here, I'll go ahead and take over. I think, if I'm not mistaken, so it's in land 3, all of the autopilots, command 1, 2, and 3 are engaged, so I think it would actually auto land here if we wanted it to. We're not going to do that. In fact, I'm going to actually take it over from here and I'll just, there we go, leave the auto throttle on for now.
Southwest 1111 Tower, good morning, runway 24 left line from weight, chop count 5 miles per hour. Light point 24 left, Southwest 1111.
Doing flaps. 25. And we'll disconnect the auto throttle as well. Flaps 30.
Southwest 1111 Tower, good morning, runway 24 left line from weight, chop count 5 miles per hour. Light point 24 left, Southwest 1111.
Wow.
Sky was 5148, left at Zulu, left on Echo, then ground point.
This was not on the ATIS.
Left on Zulu, left on Echo, ground 65.
Seriously, what the hell? What the hell? I don't know what's going on here with the weather.
Sky was 5148, left at Zulu, left on Echo, then ground point 65. Left on Zulu, left on Echo, ground 65.
We're 400 feet above minimums. This is not very good.
Southwest 111, wind calm, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff.
Minimums.
Southwest 1111, thanks, 24 left, clear for takeoff.
What the heck?
Southwest 111, wind calm, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff. Southwest 1111, thanks, 24 left, clear for takeoff.
Really nice weather refresh.
Southwest 1111, contact departure, good day. Southwest 1111, okay, later. Southwest 1111, contact departure, good day. Southwest 1111, okay, later.
Okay, ground, 121.8. Kill the lights. APU is on, get the APU lead.
Ground Southwest 1898, push up runway with Fox.
Southwest 1898, ground, hold your push for traffic coming behind you.
Hold the push, we'll stand by 1898. Ground Southwest 1499, ready to taxi, Foxtrot.
Southwest 1499, runway 28, taxi via Tango Uniform.
Tango Uniform to runway 28, Southwest 1499. Ground Southwest 1499, ready to taxi, Foxtrot.
Southwest 1499, runway 28, taxi via Tango Uniform.
Tango Uniform to runway 28, Southwest 1499.
It is. I don't have any experience with the V1, but I don't know what I expected after reading all the negativity after its release. And I watched a few reviews, and it didn't seem too bad. And other than the cockpit textures and a few little finicky things about the FMC, and I guess a couple complaints about the payload and loading stuff over here on the tablet, I'm really enjoying it. I think that there would be a couple easy fixes that would really probably make the community pretty happy, but overall there's a lot of system depth, and that was a pretty fun flight, except for the shitty weather refresh that we got there at the end. But it looks really good. I'm looking forward to watching a replay here. See another Lufthansa.
Southwest 1898, allow your company to pass behind you, then push approved.
Allow company to pass, then push approved, Southwest 1898.
Regardless, it definitely is a huge improvement over the default 747. I'll take this any day of the week.
Down at 310, you'll see a Southwest
I'll
coming
go
up
here
your
next
right
to this
side on uniform.
777.
Follow him to the runway, then monitor tower. Good day.
All right, follow Southwest to the runway.
Can we
and we'll
squeeze it
monitor
in?
tower, United 310. Good day.
Oh boys. The real question is, I'm gonna be able to see the marshaller. Also kind of a challenge taxiing a 747.
Down at 310, you'll see a Southwest coming up your right side on uniform. Follow him to the runway, then monitor tower. Good day.
All right, follow Southwest to the runway, and we'll monitor tower, United 310. Good day.
Or ground air transport 3768 Heavy is going to push off the lift cargo for return.
Air Transport 3768 Heavy, ground push your discretion. Native Foxtrot.
We have Foxtrot, thank you. Or ground air transport 3768 Heavy is going to push off the lift cargo for return.
Air Transport 3768 Heavy, ground push
I've
your
got to turn the
discretion.
strobes off. Let's get the strobes off. Turn the beacon off. APU gen on and kill my engines. Also blinded the hell out of him, and I never retracted the flaps. That's good.
If you want to go ahead and use Delta 10, this next one coming in, transition into Delta.
United 414, runway 24.
Southwest 157 and visual 24 left. Southwest 157 Tower following an RJ on a 3.5 mile final. Traffic hold in position, runway 24 left for land. For land, for that, Southwest 1157 4.
Jesus, can't even see from the tower. Other than forgetting to put the flaps on, that wasn't too bad. Where did we park? Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there. I think overall my initial thoughts are pretty positive. I don't know, there was a lot of negativity and I didn't really expect anything good, and there were a couple, Cartera Gaming and Blue Games both did a couple reviews that I think convinced me to maybe support this project if you were interested in a decent 747 for X-Plane, and got it, and I really wasn't disappointed. I mean, there's a few things, obviously, like I was mentioned earlier, that need some work, but overall, I'm pretty satisfied. Happy to have a 747 in X-Plane. Probably, I might fly for Tube Tuesday. Might be back with it in a couple of days. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, guys. We'll see you later. Let it go to engine shutdown so we can listen to those noises. But I'm out here. Talk to you later. Peace.